I'm Joe Hollowell from Edenton or Chowan County. Actually, we live in Crossroads. I don't know how many people here know what Crossroads is, but it's in the town community. Carolyn and I, thank you for letting us come today and share a few comments with you. Before I get into the crux of it, I can't help but saying this. We are fortunate to have a man such as this gentleman sitting right here, Norm Sanderson, as our senator representing us in the state legislature. He is a strong Christian man, and I promise you, we have the best senator in the entire state of North Carolina. Now, my purpose in being here today is to come and talk to you about the governor's race. Now, more than likely, all of you have probably already voted, and I might be just blowing smoke to you, at least if you voted, but maybe you can go out and talk to someone else and let's try to get this turnout up here in Perquimans County, all over the state. The unaffiliated, for the most part, are pretty close to outvoting us registered Republicans in our own Republican primary. That's an atrocity that we cannot let take place. But I'm here to speak for Dale Folwell. And Dale Folwell is a man, he and his wife Cynthia and 2 children live in Winston-Salem. His experience is extensive. He started out on the Forsyth and Winston-Salem School Board, served for 8 years. He decided he wanted to get involved, and he ran for the State House and won. And he served there for 8 years in the North Carolina legislature. Senator Sanderson had his start in the state legislature, in the House. While he was in the House, he led the movement establishing school bus safety. And there's a reason behind that. And I'd just like to ask you a question. Please ask Judge Moreland and Prosecutor Cruden if they won't answer, because they should know. But what would you think is the #1 infraction of highway laws in the state of North Carolina? Would anybody want to venture to guess? You got it right. You win the right. Passing a school bus. Let me tell you how that applies to Dale Folwell and why he was so anxious to get those laws passed. He and his wife Cynthia had a 7-year-old son who was, as he was boarding the school bus, a car ran over him and he was killed. Now, what kind of motivation is that? And he got some results because of it. We got new laws passed. You better not pass a school bus anymore, and you're going to spend some time in jail. Right, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. As we move on, we ask for other experiences. He's also served as in the North Carolina Department of Commerce. He was Assistant Secretary for 3 years. Then we get up to what he's doing now, and that is Treasurer. He's the State Treasurer. He has been for 7 years, completing his term out. He would have completed 8 years as Treasurer. Well, what's he done? #1, he's reduced the taxpayer-approved debt of the state of North Carolina by 60%. And that has managed to keep the state's credit rating at AAA. So what else has he done? He has managed $115 million state pension plan. And that has been quite a job. And if any of you are state employees, you know his involvement. The State Employee Association has endorsed him for governor. Let's just talk about for a few minutes and wind down on what he will do as governor. Get tough on crime. I think we all, Senator Sanderson addressed that. Get tough on crime. Back the blue. Reduce the health cost. Dale has been in a fight with hospitals, and they don't like him. They've been campaigning against him because he wants them to be transparent. He wants you to know what it's going to cost you before you go in and when you come out. And that is very, very important for all of us in North Carolina. He wants to prioritize education. Do we have to go into any detail? And go to Perquimans County and look at the test scores of your kids that are graduating now and see. You will be appalled at the results. Senator Sanderson recognizes that. You heard him mention it. We are not educating our youth. We all should be ashamed of that. That is one of his main priorities. And the last thing I will mention, he will demand government accountability and transparency. And of any elected official that we send to Raleigh or Washington or wherever, we need to hold their feet to the fire and make them stand up and work towards doing the things they promised they would do to get our vote. Dale Folwell will do this. He answers the phone. He shows up for work. He doesn't leave after he gives a speech and run out quick as he can. He stays around and answers your question. If you hadn't voted, go vote for Dale Folwell and ask anybody you know that hadn't voted to vote for Dale Folwell for governor. Thank you for letting us come and share with you this morning.